I just made this wrist-mounted airsoft minigun that shoots a short burst of ammo at an extremely high rate of fire. It runs off of compressed air and uses airsoft BBs as ammo. So now that you know what it does, let me show you how to make it. To start off, we'll need a bunch of different parts and fittings, so here's everything you'll need. You'll need about 4 feet of 1/8 inch compressor hose, a short section of 5/16 inch brake line left over from another video, an air compressor blowgun, a 3/4 inch to 1/8 inch brass fitting, as well as 3 other 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch ones, a 1 1/4 inch elbow and street elbow, 2 sections of 1 1/4 inch pipe around 7.5 inches long, and then 1 section of 1 inch pipe around 7 inches long, 2/4 inch end caps and a 1 inch end cap, as well as a 1 inch threaded coupling and a threaded plug to go with it. Then get some zip ties, 11 inch and 21 inch, and the 21 inch ones should be adjustable. Make sure all your PVC pipes and fittings are marked NFS-PW, and that means they're rated for pressure, and that's important. Okay, now we're going to take all of our pipes and bevel the edges out so we don't scrape the glue out when we put them into the fittings. Shout out to Plumber Hub for the advice. Okay, now let's bring out our primer and glue and prime one of our 1/4 inch sections of pipe. Prime an end cap as well. Then apply a liberal amount of glue to both surfaces and then press them together tightly. Then go ahead and wipe off all the excess glue. Repeat the process with the other section of 1/4 inch pipe so it looks just like the other one, and then go ahead and wipe off the excess glue as well. Now it's time to glue the elbows on, so just like the end cap, apply a generous amount of primer and glue into the inside of the elbows. And then primer and glue goes on the open side of the 1/4 inch pieces of pipe as well. Both elbows get pressed onto both 1/4 inch pieces of pipe, and one of them should have the street elbow on it. Now the slip elbow and the street elbow are going to be glued together just like so let's grab some primer and glue and put it on both surfaces and then stick it together. Press both pieces together firmly and then place it on a flat surface so it dries level like so. And that's going to be our air chamber, so let's build our hop up next. Primer and glue goes on the threaded end cap and the 1 inch pipe, and the two get pressed together, and then the end cap gets glued on the other side. Wipe off the excess glue and then we're done. Now you can see how the two pieces will come together to form the body of our gun. Okay, now we need to drill some holes for our brass pieces in the air chamber as well as the hop up. So let's head over to the drill press and fire it up. Now with a small drill bit, drill a hole in the back of our hop up chamber on the end cap, and then bore it out with the drill bit just smaller than the threads on one of our 1/8 inch brass pieces. Now do the same thing with our air chamber on one of the elbows, but have it at a 45-degree angle. Perfect. Now we're going to need to drill a hole in our threaded end cap for our barrel. Drill a hole in the center with our small drill bit, and then the bigger bit should be about the same size as our 5/16 inch brake line. Now take our brake line and end cap and put some hot glue or epoxy inside the end cap, and then drop the brake line through the hole. Top it off with some more glue, and then make sure our barrel is centered while it dries. Now we can put some glue around the outside for some added durability. Now grab a wrench and one of our 1/8 inch brass pieces, and then thread it into the hole we drilled in the air chamber. Tighten it up with the wrench, making sure the threads dig deep so we have a secure airlock. Now we can grab our hop-up chamber and another one of our 1/8 inch brass pieces and thread that into the hole we made there as well. Try to keep it straight while you're threading it in so it doesn't go in at a weird angle. Now we need to drill one more hole in our air chamber for our fill valve. This hole goes on the other elbow and is drilled straight in, and just like the others, use a drill bit a little smaller than the threads on our valve. Now we can thread in our fill valve. Try to thread it in straight just like the last one, and then tighten it up with the wrench. Okay, now bring back our compressor hose and let's cut some sections. Measure from your elbow to your longest finger and then cut a section that length. And then we can use that as kind of a template to cut another section just like it. With those cut, let's bring in our blowgun trigger and our last 2 brass pieces. Use a generous amount of Teflon tape and wrap it around the 3/4 inch brass fitting, and then around the 1/8 inch one too. Thread both fittings into either side of the blowgun and then tighten them up with a wrench. Get some hose clamps and then take our section of 1/8 inch compressor hose and press it onto one side of the blowgun. Then take our hose clamp and slide it on. Repeat the process on the other side of the trigger and then tighten up our hose clamps. Take the hose on the inlet side of our blowgun and then put a hose clamp around it and press it onto our air tank like so. Then go ahead and tighten up the hose clamp. The other side goes onto our hop-up, and this one doesn't need a hose clamp. Place the hop-up on our air chamber, and now all we need to do is strap the two together. So bring back our 11-inch zip ties and take 2 out of the bag and put them together like this, and then wrap it around the chamber and the hop-up and then tighten them down. Grab 2 more and put them together like so, and then wrap it around the front and tighten it down. Make sure everything's tight and then you can clip off the excess. Grab a couple more zip ties and go around the air chamber and then around the compressor hose, and then slide it all the way to the front and tighten it down. Do this to the other side as well, and this is just to make sure your hoses stay in place. Tighten everything up and then clip off the excess just like before. Okay, cool. Now we just need to strap it to our arm. And our releasable zip ties work perfect for that. So take one of the zip ties and thread it over the air chamber and under the hop-up and then over the air chamber again, and then tuck it under the compressor holes on both sides. Now do the same thing for the second zip tie, and then slide it all the way to the front. And I found that some 1/2-inch pipe insulation cut to size works perfect for padding. And there you have it, a fully operational wrist-mounted airsoft minigun. Now I'm using a bike pump to make the whole operation mobile. Now to load it, hook the bike pump up to the fill valve and then lock it down. I fill mine to 90 psi, but that's only because my trigger has a 90 psi max. I found that some soda bottle preforms taped to a shin guard work as some handy reloads. So unscrew the barrel and then grab one of our reloads and pour in some BBs. About 40 of them works best, so try not to overload it. Screw on the barrel again and then you're ready to go. Now the range isn't amazing, so I'd recommend it mostly for clearing blind corners. Well, now you know how to build a wrist-mounted airsoft minigun, and if you have ideas on what I should build next, leave them in the comments. And I'm trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize the channel. So if you like this video, maybe subscribe and check out some of my other videos, like how I made this exploding ammo for my airgun. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you want to see this used in a real airsoft game.